Hey everyone, Leigh here from Martinuzzi Property Group with my weekly real estate market update. I do hope you're well this week, guys. Looking at a bit of the property market outlook going forward. Look, there's positive signs at the moment that says the property market's improving and will continue to mend itself going forward in throughout 2023. But then there's other signs as well that's showing us that, geez, who knows what's going to happen? The cash rates are going to go up further. Buyer sentiment's fairly low. A lot of people sitting on the fence right now with all this information and not knowing which way to go. So I'm just going to break that down in my article this week, the positive sides of things and the not so positive sides of things as well. So we can use that information to make some better decisions as well. I find the best decisions we can make is based on information at hand and past experience. So seek good advice, have information at hand, and that will allow you to make better decisions, whether you're buying or selling currently in this market as well. So look, the outlook moving forward, guys, we know that there's going to be further cash rate rises, and that's causing a lot of buyers to sit on the fence. Because look, I guess as a buyer right now, if the cash rate or interest rates go up another 2%, that could potentially add another $1,000 in monthly repayments onto your mortgage. And that's on top of a reducing disposable income already, with the price of goods increasing fairly dramatically as well. The flip side of things are that the market is looking fairly positive. The economy in Australia is looking fairly positive. Unemployment's quite low. Wages are increasing in some sectors as well, I'm told. And looking at the Sydney market in February, prices actually rose in Sydney 1.4% in February. So that's bringing the national price indication or index up 0.2% for the month of February. Now, that's fairly positive considering what we've just come from as well. The other thing to consider, and at the moment, is that there's a lot less properties available for sale. So whilst buyer sentiment is down and buyer demand is down a bit as well, there's actually less to choose from. So that's keeping a fairly good balance to that buyer demand and supply ratio. So I think that's a fairly positive sign as well. Now, that could all change very swiftly as well. Leading into the autumn selling market, we see a lot more properties coming to the market at the moment, and that's likely to happen. There's been a fairly big gap, maybe 6 months or so, where a lot of the sellers have sat on the fence as well, not too sure what the market's going to do. But, you know, they've held back far enough now and they want to move on with their life. So there will be sellers hitting the market and potentially pretty hard as well. Now, if that's the case, for those selling out there, there'll be increased competition. Buyers will have more choice and perhaps a little bit more of an upper hand in the negotiation when buying properties as well. Another thing to consider is this year, and this is in the media as well, fixed rate cliff, they call it. A lot of people that entered into a fixed loan a couple of years ago and now coming out of it. Now, that's about, I think about 35% of Australia's debt is tied up in fixed loans. And of that, I think about 2/3 or 23% are coming out this year. Now, that means for someone that had a fixed rate back in 2021 at about 2%, their rate will change now to a variable rate at about 5.5%. Now, that's an increase of about $1,000 a month in mortgage repayments on the average loan, which is just under $550,000 in Australia. So $1,000 a month, that's a fairly big increase for most families, I would say. So that's going to no doubt cause pain, but will that impact and will that cause immediate distressed sales? Probably not. Generally, it's a longer term process. So when we see this sort of thing happen, we won't see the true impacts of that for some time to come. But right now, we can look at the information at hand and say, look, the market's actually still fairly buoyant. There's a lot of buyers looking out there in the market to purchase. And one property, we actually sold 2 last week through an expression of interest campaign, one which had 6 bidding parties. So we had 6 offers coming through on that property, and all within a very a whisker apart from each other as far as their end offers came through at. So that means there's 5 buyers still very actively looking for properties in the marketplace at the moment. And with lower properties for sale, it's likely that those 5 buyers are going to buy somewhere else as well. So, guys, the market's fairly positive at the moment. It's certainly not a dead market or a crash market. And I actually think the outlook's fairly favorable going forward. So use the information at hand. Have a read of my blog, martinuzzi.com. You can check it out there and use the link below. Anything we can help you with, please give me a call. Talk soon.